I'm so antsy today. I do.
I'm
I'm having
hearing.
anxiety.
What happened?
I can't stop fidgeting today. I don't know if you see me touch my hair 1,000 times. I'm like,
Oh, I do it all. I
I'm
touch my
just, but
hair
I'm
all the
having
time.
like anxiety.
You said I'm outside, and all I heard was that fucking song in my head. It's Melissa. I'm drunk and outside. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't, but I
So
want to know, so you have to send it to me later.
it's a TikTok sound, and then it just shows these girls acting a fool. So okay, so all right,
Hi.
ready?
Hi.
Hi. All right.
Hi.
Okay, welcome to part two, which is just an extension of part one, and then we have some fun stuff at the end.
So stick
There's a
around.
lot. So stick around. Listen, actually, and all of this stuff is like it's real brief. But if you guys want a deep dive on any of this, I do recommend that documentary is pretty good. It's set up like an actual documentary. There
Hmm.
isn't weird space noises or stock footage or weird photos. The only thing is there's a lot of that dude walking by the water.
Yeah. So the age of
You know,
disclosure,
but
because this is part
right.
two.
Yeah, but he's talking over it. So it's you're still getting information. It's not like the weird where they fill it up with all this like filler bullshit and you're like I still because I watched a couple and I'm like 30 minutes in, still haven't written anything down. So I'm like, not this one. So yeah, it is actually it's really good. It's put together really well. And then I guess Spielberg has some movie out, some
Yeah.
new movie
Disclosure day.
movie
Yeah,
out.
which I want to
Yeah,
see.
that kind of
Hmm.
goes with this
Yeah.
also. So there's a good
So
one. Okay.
welcome
So
to part two of my credits
welcome to
told me
part
to
two. So
aliens.
where we left off, Lou Elizondo has quit his government job and has gone on a press junket, and he will talk to anybody that will listen with videos and all of the information that they have that's not classified, which then made the government go, "Oh fuck,
Mhm.
we need to say words." So
Or just kill
um,
him. Just
there
kidding.
was that too, and then there was also like a disinformation
Hmm.
thing that was happening. They were just like,
Campaign.
he's a crackpot too. So basically, what happened was after he did that, like all of these like Air Force people came forward and said, "Hey, we saw. Here's some things that we saw as well."
Yeah.
Um, so 2004, aboard the Nimitz, which is off of San Diego, the Air Force was sent to chase down a Tic Tac shaped object. So this is kind of a big deal. Like if you look up um, this one in particular, a lot of people saw it on more than one occasion. They did chase it. They have photos. It's like this whole thing. Um, there have been repeated reports of like tic tac shaped objects, like stalking Air Force boats. Like what are the boats with all the planes on it that are out in the ocean?
Yeah, the hangars, the airplane
The,
hangars.
no, because it's on ground. Whatever the
Or
boats are
not
called,
hangars.
whatever
The I thought they were, yeah, like
boats.
just like aircraft hangars in the water.
Aircraft carriers. There we go.
Aircraft carriers, yes.
There we go. Okay.
I don't know why I called them
Um,
a hangar. Sorry.
well, that's where you put them on ground.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
My dad was
So
in
there's been
also, my dad was in the Air Force, so
no
I grew
things.
up on Air Force bases. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I don't know words. See, I told you words were not good for me today.
Words are rough this week. Okay, so repeated reports of Tic Tac objects stalking Air Force boats and planes, like surveilling, dropping down really low, um, more than just on the Nimitz, like just repeated like reports of like this happening a lot. And then a lot of the government sightings were happening near nuclear bases and test facilities. So that's just so cute.
I'm just fucking with her.
So like just the combination of the two, and they're like, it didn't seem hostile. It just seemed like it was like information gathering kind of situation.
Yeah.
But also, and again, it was one of those things where they were like, go after it. They're like, well, we couldn't catch it.
Ooh,
We don't have
I
that technology.
tried.
So they did. Okay, so there's that. Um, when W would go to his ranch. Now the thing with W Bush, the W Bush is he was um, before he became president, he was involved in some of the UAP stuff in the government, like
Yeah.
lower level stuff, like not whatever. So then he became president, and it's like, okay, so you're going to, not all the presidents know, some of the presidents know. I guess they like picked and chose. They're like, well, who's smart enough? I'll tell you who doesn't know anything. Anyway, so W went to his ranch, and pretty frequently, when he went to his ranch, there would be UAP activity over the ranch. And then they'd have to report it because, surveillance and stuff, because he's the president. Um, but everybody that was involved in all of those sightings immediately had to sign non-disclosures.
Yeah.
Like the non-disclosures started coming out. Like, um, so there's that. And then Jay Stratton said, like, the first time there was one of these, he like went, this is before they started ATIP, he went to the ranch and he was like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, well, something, but we can't tell you what, because we all signed non-disclosures.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so it's like, it's very much like, well, there's a thing, but you can't sit with us, we're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
um
So I do want to
and
touch
then
back when you're done with it. I do want to kind of circle
yeah.
back to the president's thing and like what presidents know and stuff like that. So just
Oh
don't
yeah,
let me
yeah.
forget.
Okay. And then Ellsworth base, there was an object above the blast door. So this is like a nuclear test base. Or I'm sorry, this is a regular base, but it was a launch door for like missiles. And so it was like flat and hovering over where the launch door would open and come out. And it was like flat. And this guy describes it. He was like, it was as big as a super Walmart. This is a quote. Not a regular Walmart, a super Walmart. And I'm like, so quarter for size, it's bigger than a quarter, but is it bigger than a bread box? Oh, it's bigger than a super Walmart. Okay, I get it. That's your size comparison.
Is he
It
from
was
the
as big as
sauce?
a super Walmart. Um, At Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, there was again a flat object hovering over their missile launch tube, and they all came out and they were like, "What the fuck is that?" And they said, like, big as a football field, I guess, super Walmart, big as a football field,
Yeah.
hovering right over like the launch tube, and they said it would just sit there and then just either go like this and just be gone like that quickly, or just up and just be gone.
Hmm.
Like 0 to 1,000, just gone. Vandenberg Air Force Base, which is in California, they launched a missile and they were filming the missile launch. And then when they slowed it down frame by frame, they said, like, just a little spaceshipy guy came in and shot a light at the side of it, and then came around the top, shot a light down, came around the side, shot a light down, came underneath, shot a light from the bottom, and then took off. So they were like, we really feel like they're just kind of gathering information, like, hey,
Yeah.
what are they got? What are they doing? What do they got going on?
But
Um,
like, okay, but that to me, because there's theories for a reason, right? They're called
right.
conspiracy theories for a reason. So there's different theories out there. And
Oh,
like some of the theories, you son of a bitch, I need to go get my tinfoil hat now.
okay. It's not going to stay up there.
You look like Mr. Dibs when he put hats on him.
Okay. Okay.
So, so some of the theories are, and this is in the connection with the presidents, right? And I think it was Eisenhower was one of the first
Eisenhower's one of
presidents,
them. Yeah.
yeah, to do, but like I think the first documented, but again, like throw it in our comments, throw it in whatever, DM us, whatever you, but like I think it was Eisenhower, if I'm not mistaken, that was one of the first documented presidents to have an agreement to say, like, and I won't go into a ton of the agreements that they made, right? You can go down those rabbit holes yourself. But in exchange for this, us doing this for you, like the humans on Earth doing this for you, because there's other world leaders involved too. It's not just the presidents of the United States, it's other world
Right.
leaders. Um, in exchange for that, we get technology and medicines and advancements in like modern technology and all that, right? And so where you're talking about like these lasers like gathering intel, I'm
Right.
wondering if it's not I don't know if it's they're gathering it. Like, what are they gathering it for? Like, yes, to me, it
Right.
still sounds like they're gathering intel, but are they like, oh, they did this correctly, or they took us up on this thing?
Right.
And like, are they checking up
Are they doing
on,
like, are they following the plans that we sent?
yeah, like, are they like,
Yeah.
what is the intel for? Like, what are they checking up
Right.
on? And that, like, that makes me start to think that kind of stuff, right? Because it's like, oh, are they like checking up on the things they gave us? Because again, like,
Well, but well, okay, we'll get back into that because it's just
okay,
like, okay,
sorry.
but like, no, 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 you're fine. Not specifically that, we can jump to that, but like the again, it's a 4-year job, or it's an 8-year job at most,
Yeah.
right? So you sign an agreement, and then what? The next guy doesn't get that opportunity, so that agreement doesn't. You see,
Yeah.
we'll get
Yeah.
into that because it's all like, and then it gets attached to money and who owns what technology, which is like,
Yeah.
that's another weirdness. So okay, so then we're in Montana at Maelstrom. There's a red light that hovered over the front gate, and then over the next 10 weeks, 10
Are
of the
these just
missiles
Air
were.
Force bases? Like not Navy, not Army, just Air Force. Got it. Well, because okay, I don't even want to go
we'll
down that
get we'll
rabbit
get
hole.
we'll
Go.
get into
Yeah.
it.
I'm
um
like,
so over the next week, 10 missiles were disarmed while they were on the ground,
oh fuck.
and they were like, what is happening? Then now we're back at Vandenberg, and then they also had a red square floating over the launch pad after the initial sighting with the checking on the thing. They also had the red square sitting over the launch pad. So that's all. So those all came out. Those were all made public. Everybody's talking about it. That was part of the stuff that he was sharing when he was on his little tour. He had his little
Yeah.
videos of people and stuff like that. So just want to make sure that I don't
One lad.
miss anything. Yeah. Okay.
Bigfoot.
Okay.
Just kidding.
So the legacy, there is the legacy program. Oh, that's after the hearings. Let's do the hearings first. Okay. So in 2020, the UAP task force was formed, and
And this is within the government, right? If I'm
yes, yeah.
okay.
So it's a task force, and basically they're like, okay, so we're actually going to look into this. Having a task force doesn't mean anything except they're just appropriating money to a bunch of people that say they're doing a thing, but they're not really, and they're still not admitting that they had other
Hmm.
shit going on before. But they're like, we're gonna start this task force, and that task force requires us to give them this much money. Well, that's our money. What are you doing with it? That
Yeah.
you're just throwing all this money in here. Um, Harry Reid financed ATIP until, what did I say, 2012, but we didn't find out about it till 2017. Like, they ran out of money in 2012. In 2017 is when Lou quit and went on the big tour. 2020, the UAP task force is formed. And then there's the transparency initiative, where data can start being released to the public. As long
Hmm.
as it's not confidential, as long as it's not classified, as long as it's not this, as long as it didn't come from here. So it's like they're basically just saying
Breadcrumbing.
words at us. And this is also the same period of time where the government started a disinformation campaign against Lou and Harry Reid.
Hmm.
Like, Harry Reid died and Lou was still in it, and they were just like, no, that guy, no, absolutely not that.
So just shitting on the reputations.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, so a bunch of senators started doing briefings. And then they were like, look, the FAA only tracks, we talked about this, he only tracks the stuff. And so it has to be what you see. Now, Marco Rubio, but also
Hmm.
he said a smart thing
I
back
was
in
actually
2017.
shocked. Go
back
on.
in 2017. Yeah. Well, he whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So he said something smart, but also keep in mind it was back in 2017 and a lot has changed. Um, he's actually one of the senators that spoke out publicly, and he said that our biggest, and this was actually something that was just like, yeah, that. He said our biggest blunders in human defense history is that we didn't have enough imagination or foresight to imagine what could happen. And he talks about Pearl Harbor, where we were like, oh, we're fine because we didn't think the Japanese could navigate or had underwater missiles
Capability.
that could get right. So we were just like that will never happen, right? And then 9/11, they were like, well, why would we, it's like we just don't, we're not forward thinking enough to be like, oh, that is a possibility. Oh, we can. And he's like, look, there's all this technology and it is a threat to us and like the world. Um, do you remember? Okay, so we're going to back up again. I'm going to kind of go back and forth because
It's
it's all
cool.
connected. So Reagan, do you remember when Reagan met with Gorbachev in the early 80s? Probably not. I was alive.
I was born
Um,
in the early
yeah.
80s.
So Reagan met with Gorbachev and they were talking about national shit, right? And then they had a private conversation late, like they took a break and went and had a private conversation. Reagan basically said, hey, if we are facing an attack from a planet that isn't ours, would you help us? Like, are we all one unit if we're fighting, so
Against
it's like a
others.
common enemy, right? And they were like, yeah, absolutely. And it's like, okay, well, that's a weird conversation to have while we're in the
Mhm.
middle of the Cold War.
Yeah.
It's like
But also,
we're racing to get there first, and like we're in the middle of the Cold War. So who knows, right? Like I don't know, maybe it was just a ploy to get him to not, but
no,
who
there's
knows, right?
way more shit that we have not been privy to that's
Well,
been
that's
going
the whole
on
thing,
for decades upon decades upon decades.
right?
I
So,
mean, I know you didn't get into like the Anunnaki and that kind of stuff, and I won't get too much into it, but go down some rabbit holes and you'll see like the
well, all the ancient,
contracts.
yeah,
Yeah, but like the contracts that have been made, who we are as a species, as a human species, comes from being a blend of the slaves of the Anunnaki and like what essentially is Bigfoot. And we're the fucking offspring of that, the hybrid of alien
yeah,
and that, and whatever. I mean, everything that comes out of my mouth is not something that I truly believe. I take everything with a grain of salt and I think it's fun and it's entertaining and it's not, I don't take everything as fact or anything like that. Some things I choose to, though. I really do choose to believe that I'm part fucking
right.
Bigfoot and Anunnaki.
So
That would
funny.
explain so
Um,
many things about these long ass
it really
arms.
would. You could just explain it all off as that and just be good with it.
But yeah,
Um,
no, but like I think about the contracts though, and I think about the things that have been unspoken for so long.
Well,
And
it's also, I mean, this is just a shit. This doesn't, I didn't even touch any of the native stuff. I didn't touch
yeah,
any of like the ancient stuff. And there's so much.
the
So,
flat
I mean, you guys,
earthers and this
this is the only
Antarctica.
time where I'm like, you guys can totally at us if
Hmm.
you feel like I skipped the whole thing, or if you want to know where to look up more of this stuff, I'm happy to share that stuff with you too. But
But go
so,
ahead,
okay,
fine.
yeah. So, okay, so basically, there's 5 characteristics that ATIP was calling an observable about what's happening with their stuff, not our stuff. And it's hypersonic velocity, low observability, instantaneous acceleration, transmedium travel, which means they're going from air to water,
Yeah.
like silently, no
No,
splash,
and no ripple. And like
nothing,
that,
no
the
nothing.
one, what was the one before that?
Instantaneous
Yeah,
acceleration,
that's where they were like able, when you had described earlier, them going
just
either
straight
like
up.
this or straight
Yeah.
up and like that. And they can make like 90-degree turns in seconds versus,
Yeah, like a
yeah,
whole big oil tanker trying to
yeah,
navigate around. And like if you guys have ever
yeah,
steered like a boat or a station
yeah.
wagon trying to get around, you know. And then anti-gravity where it can just come down and just float with what it
Hmm.
looks like it's floating and it doesn't have anything pushing it up. So We don't have any of this technology. So now we've intercepted things that does have this technology, and we're just like, oh well, we couldn't catch it. Like what even is that? That I mean, that's a threat to everybody, really,
Mhm.
if they choose to use it dangerously. Like up until this point, you
I mean,
know,
we're still here.
we're still here, right? So,
Well, you know that
um,
Bashar guy that I've talked about a few times? He's like, so again, if you want to go down a fun rabbit hole, so Daryl Anka lives in LA. He is a channeler of this entity called Bashar, who is an alien, an extraterrestrial. He channels the consciousness. They're on like different, I don't know, they're channeling each other.
Lane.
I'll say that. Yeah, yeah, it's like a multiverse kind of a situation. It's like we're in the same, but we're different. Um, Overlapping, yeah. So he has been talking about 2027 being the year of first like true contact, like where just the very tip of the iceberg. And then by 2030, we're supposed to have like full integration. And so this Bashar entity that he channels and that speaks through him is so in his world he is a social engineer. And so his job is to make, so they've been working with our governments and our world leaders and stuff to make this transition because they have been here forever, like years and years and years, working with, certain entity like bodies, like government bodies and stuff like that. And so they're here to like help usher in this like stages of contact and then integration, and then they're like, and it's going to be this species first and then this species and then this extraterrestrial and whatever. But because one of the things that people bring up with him, and again, this is all fucking whatever, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, like it's all entertainment, whatever. And he's saying that and I'm bringing this up because of the whole, are they a threat, are they not? And so people have asked Bashar, like, why are you here then? Like, what's the purpose or whatever? Or like, there have been so many moments in history in the 1900s, there have been so many moments in history that we as a human species could have fucking killed all of us. Like a nuclear war could have started, annihilated ourselves out of our own fucking ego and ignorance, right? And they have been the interrupters. They have been the ones to stop that. So I think if we go along that kind of explanation, a lot of this is they're keeping tabs on what the fuck we have. Like
Right,
they gave us technology and then we fucked with it in a negative way, and we're
right.
using it in a way that they weren't intending, essentially, from what Bashar said. Like they did not intend for us to harm each other with it. And so they have had to step in, and like there have been times where like we don't know, as the general public, we don't know that we were this close to getting like nuked by even within our own world, our own country, and it got stopped by these otherworldly people that our governments all over the world have been in cahoots with. And
Well,
so I'm like,
I guess there's a nuclear plant reactor. Every time I say that, I visualize Homer Simpson and his little glow stick that he
just
takes
gonna
home.
say,
But that got the whole plant powered. Not here. It was like in Russia or something. And just there was a sighting, and then it flew away, and then the whole plant powered down, and then the whole plant powered back up later. And it was they said it was almost like, look what we can do,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like
So
don't fuck
don't
around.
fuck with us. Yeah. Okay. So when they started the task force, that was when the disinformation campaign started against Lou and Harry Reid. And then the task force was kind of like, just like, senators were speaking out and Air Force guys were speaking out, and it was kind of just milling around. Like nobody was real. Like you were kind of seeing a little bit on the news, and then it would kind of go away, and then you would see a little bit more, and it would kind of go away. Um, And then in 2022, there was a public hearing in Congress to talk about UAPs. And it's called the Legacy Program. Or I'm sorry. It looked like it was going to move forward. And then the Legacy Program, which was the non-existent existent program,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, was blocking funding to support this. So, but by them blocking the funding to support the new bill, it made them more visible. Like
Yeah.
it inadvertently made them more
Yeah.
visible. So the Legacy Program is the CIA. So until all of these Air Force guys reported what they saw, the only reports that they would ever get from anybody was like the Navy said they saw something and they'd be patrolling, but the Air Force would be patrolling in the same place. And the Air Force, who's in the sky, was like, we didn't see anything. But the
Know what
Navy
you're
was like,
talking
well,
about.
we saw stuff, right? So, and like other military branches were like, well, we saw stuff too. And the Air Force would be nearby and they're like, we didn't see anything until this. And then they all came forward with all this stuff that they saw. So
Yeah.
the Legacy Program is the CIA, the Air Force, the Department of Energy, and defense contractors. So now what's happening is the
Oh
CIA
my
is kind of like
God.
the headquarters. The Air Force, the Air Force, the Air Force um, is to like secure and retrieve, like go get that thing or the thing you
Chase it.
couldn't catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, go chase it. The thing you couldn't catch, go get that thing. Um, the Department of Energy has its own classification system. So they can make anything classified that other departments it wouldn't be classified. So they can just be like, nope, it's classified. Yeah, we'll tell you whatever, but you can't have anything.
Convenient.
But you can't have anything classified. So they got the Department of Energy in there, which can classify literally everything, and defense contractors. So those have technical services and research capabilities that the government doesn't have. Also, um, it doesn't, the Freedom of Information Act does not apply to defense contractors. So they can say yeah, we have the Freedom of Information Act. You can get all the information you want, but it's been classified by the Department of Energy and it's owned by the defense contractors, which is not covered by the Freedom of Information Act. So there's still nothing you get to have.
Oh shit. I feel
Right.
like Step Brothers is like, this house is a
Yeah.
prison. A planet
Right.
bullshit.
So basically, they put these four groups together to form this bigger, stronger group. And now it's the same. So now we all know you exist, but you're not going to tell us anything,
Cool.
which is
Fucking
cool. Thanks.
dicks.
Thanks. Also, the problem with the defense contractors owning all of this information is, so if you're a voted in person, right? And like you said, oh, they signed this contract for this thing or whatever. And then you go down, and now it's 5 years out or 10 years out, and you're not in office anymore. And this guy isn't in office anymore. And all these other people that used to be in office that knew this thing that was going on, they're all gone. And they've been replaced by new people that don't have any access and don't know what's going on at all. And they don't know that the defense contractors own this information because they weren't there when they got it. So now the defense contractors are reverse engineering all of this stuff. And they're like, hey, look at this cool new thing we invented.
Mm,
And it belongs to them because there's nobody there to call bullshit because nobody's there anymore. Does it make sense?
yeah.
So they're like, we just figured out this new technology. And it's like, well, no, you didn't. You did it with stuff that you got because you were part of this
But
government
yeah.
group. It's just a
Totally.
lot of, you see what I'm, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
so much like, oh, we're going to cover our own asses so hard that we're not going to tell you anything. So,
Okay, just really
um,
quick. I'm so sorry to
yes.
squirrel, but I don't know if you guys keep seeing me. I keep my family right now in that thread. They're all talking
Yeah.
about the anti-gravity day tomorrow. They're cracking jokes right now about us losing gravity for 7 seconds. And it's like
I
you
was
can
gonna, we
see
were gonna do that, and I'm
we
like,
were
I
gonna
fucking
do that.
can't. I can't.
We know we
I
debunked it,
can't.
but it's funny because we just go hard
Can't.
into these conspiracy theories. And right
Oh
now,
yeah. Well,
my
because in
sister's
my head
like,
it was gonna
"What
be like
tree
the
are we
rapture.
grabbing?"
I know.
We're
In my
like
head it
trying to
was like the
plan.
rapture.
Yeah, I know that. Oh my God. But yeah, sorry. I'm just like dying laughing right now at all the like memes and fucking shit that are going on in this group chat with my fucking family talking about no gravity tomorrow. Also, in case you guys want to know, um, real quick, 10:33 UTC time, Eastern Standard Time. And what is UTC?
Over
Because
the
it's
counter.
my brother UTC. My brother
Oh,
put so autistic brother. He's very
it's
in.
7:30 here, so it's
Yeah, so
ten
he's
thirty
like
there. So I don't know what you.
he goes 14:33 UTC and 10:33 EST. Because my sister was like, "What time?" And then like, "Where's all this going down?" Like there's just, oh my God. We know it's not real and we're planning for it.
Oh, it's still fun. I mean, plan for it.
But
Pack a
we're
bag. See what
planning for
happens.
it.
Yeah,
We're like,
pack
whose
for it.
house are we going to? Whose house is the safest? Like, not mine. I have all this shit in here.
You know your house is going too, right?
Oh, yeah, because it's not anchored into the ground. There's no
Doesn't
roots.
matter.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's going.
No,
It
it
does
doesn't.
not. Wait, what do you mean? I'm confused.
Where does gravity stop?
It doesn't? It does to this.
No, if you go down, where does gravity stop?
I don't know. Is it a trick question?
It
Tell
does.
me.
No, it doesn't. So it doesn't matter if
That's
you're
a,
anchored or not.
yeah, that's why I was like, I don't
Everything is
know.
going to go up. We're
I
blowing up.
know. Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. That's why I was like, that's why I was like, is this a trick question?
No, I'm not. I'm just resting on cement blocks, really. So I'm fucked.
All
All right, let's
right,
get
sorry.
back into this. No, you're
Back to
fine.
the
Okay.
aliens, the real shit,
Okay.
guys.
So, okay. So the defense contractors now own all of this stuff. So then the possibility of them just having it, right? So you see where this is also, it's like, okay, well, now it's a fucking problem. Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
um, okay. So the legacy program is also competing with other countries who have pretty much their own legacy programs. They have their own captures, their own ships, their own stuff that they're also, it's not just us. Like we're so arrogant
Yeah.
because we think it's just us. It's not just us, but also all of the other countries honor people, not honor like whatever, but they don't disrespect people that report stuff. So they take very seriously when people phone in a sighting or there's a thing or there's whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas we're over here with our stigma, they're over there going, we don't have a stigma.
Mm-hmm.
So they have all of this stuff. So they're also doing it. So it's basically, so it's like the arms race, but with alien
Technology.
technology. It's a bunch of
Uh,
men putting their dicks on the table, is basically what it is.
sword
Like
fight.
who's gonna get there first? Okay. So and just like in the Cold War or any other arms race, we have enemies, we have adversaries, we have people we're working with, we have people we're not working with. Um, some presidents are on a need to know basis. Like if they have to go talk about it, sometimes like they'll send a senator instead to go have a conversation because the president doesn't really know what's happening, whereas other presidents would go on their own behalf. Um, so like everybody is like racing to like crack the code. We're gonna get the thing. We're gonna be the first one that gets there. We're gonna understand this technology. We're gonna do all this stuff. Like so we. This is okay. Do you remember 5 years ago? I don't even know when Marjorie Taylor Greene said that thing about Jewish space lasers,
Yeah.
and,
No, go on.
and the Jews had space lasers to control the weather. Okay, and everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Right? Um,
Oh,
is she a racist bigot? Absolutely. Um, but where that came from was that our legacy program was working with Israel's legacy program, and they had just divulged that they had technology that they were working on, which then got turned into,
Jewish space
oh,
lasers?
the Jews have space lasers. Yeah. So that's where that came from. Because stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
God,
So
is she even still a thing?
somewhere. I don't think
Oh
so.
God, she just
She's still floating around somewhere, but
uh I just haven't
yeah.
heard her name in a really long time.
Yeah.
Also, I
Well,
try not to listen to anything other than shit about aliens or paranormal spooky shit or fucking
right.
tarot.
Yeah. That's kind of the
I'm
best.
like,
Okay.
politics, fuck off.
So now we're fast forwarding to November of 2024. There's a public committee hearing. It's bipartisan. Everybody's invited. Um, it brought a bunch of stuff to the surface. A bunch of UAP stuff came to the surface, um, and then they interviewed everybody, and they're sitting around in Congress, and they're like, was your life threatened because you admitted this thing? And they had all of the Air Force guys there, and um, I almost just called him Jay and Silent Bob. Oh my God! So Lou and Jay were also there. The Air Force guys were there. They had senators there. They had Congress people there, and they were asking questions. And they're like, "Was your life threatened?" And there's this one senator that was just like, "Well, um, I don't want to." Or they were like, "Have people been unalived because of what they knew?" And he's like, "I can't speak on that specifically, but I have heard," like, their wording was super careful. Like, you could tell people were kind
Yeah,
of nervous. Like, they didn't want to talk
yeah.
about it. The Air Force guys were like, "I absolutely did see that. Did you know other people that saw that?" "Yes, I have a video. Yes, I have notes. Yes, I have photos." Like, all of this stuff. Um, was there a misappropriation of government funds to cover this stuff up? Yes, there was. This whole thing. So then they wanted, it's still sort of sitting there, like, what are they going to do with it? But they did have a public hearing. The press was there, like, everybody was there, and all this stuff came out. That was 2024. We're in 2026, and it still hasn't really moved. Like, the needle hasn't really moved,
Yeah.
except that people were admittedly doing stuff. So the thing with the technology that it could possibly solve is our energy crisis. Because if you have, how is the power being used for that? Like, we're struggling right now with
Yeah.
gas and oil and coal and trying to do wind and solar and all this stuff. And it's just like, okay, but if they've harnessed this energy from whatever source or however they're doing it, and it's not nuclear, this would solve our energy crisis. But that doesn't make anybody any money.
I was just gonna say, but who gets paid then?
Right. It could solve health
It always
issues.
comes down, I would say it always comes down to
It
fucking
comes down to money,
greed.
and it comes down to, but it's like, but however, because we're basically a violent competitive species, then um, it would inevitably be used to do harm. Like, it's like, oh, we have this thing. Look, I got it first. I can blow you up. Look, I did this thing first. We can use it to fight off this thing. Like, it's like we can't just sit down and be like, okay, look, this will work out really good for everybody. Somebody always needs to be in front and on top, which is
Yeah.
so fucking stupid.
Sounds
So,
like been the problem since the fucking dawn of time.
right. So the former defense ambassador, I guess, of Israel, Zayi Ashed. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why I wrote this. It says the galactic, he's in charge of the Galactic Federation of Earthlings, and I can't imagine that that's what it's called, but maybe it is. Maybe that's a direct translation. And then Paul Hellyer, who's from Canada,
Hold
who's
on.
there for,
I gotta Google this while you're hold on.
oh yeah,
Hold
no,
on.
totally Google it. Put
Um,
Israel and then Galactic
what's
Federation of
hun
Earthlings.
is real galactic
Federation of Earthlings.
Federation of Earthlings. Former
It is,
head of
isn't it?
Israel's Space and Security Program, the Galactic Federation,
Of Earthlings.
contacted. Well, so, all right, hold on. It is in December 2020. Haim Ashed, is that am I saying that? The former head of
Yeah.
Israel's space security program claimed in a newspaper interview that Earthlings have been in contact with an extraterrestrial galactic federation. Oh yeah, because I remember this in the documentary. I'm talking about it,
Yeah.
asserting that the U.S. government and Israel coordinate with aliens, though no official evidence supports these statements.
Right.
And then
This is where the space lasers thing came
there's like
from.
a Mars base, a secret underground base on Mars that supposedly houses American
Yeah.
astronauts alongside alien representatives, withholding disclosures, Galactic Federation, an alleged governing body of alien life forms that has agreements to cooperate and conduct scientific experiments with Okay, that was the thing I wanted to get into, but then I was like, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But yeah, there's
Yeah. So
but
him and
yeah,
the former defense guy from Canada were also
okay.
just like, yeah, yeah, we're all in on this. This is this thing that we're doing. But then again, the US is like, no, it isn't. So like
Yeah.
every other country is like, yes, we have these things. Yes, we're working on the technology. Yes, we're doing all of this stuff. Yes, we're moving forward. And we're over here spending money to pretend like we're not. To
So stupid.
them and to us, it is stupid. So um, but
That
basically
always,
we're
sorry, go
not
ahead.
we're not equipped to defend ourselves if they just decide to get hostile. Like it's like,
Which
well,
I like to not think about.
we tried to catch them.
We tried to catch me if you can. What is that, Pokemon? What is that?
Yeah, but okay, but if you guys are interested, you can go on Kalshi,
Kalshi.
the betting app, and you can bet on when
Sorry, I did
when
not see
are
this
they
coming.
going to when I know when are they going to admit to and release all of the alien files. So if you want to go spend some money on Kalshi and bet about when they're going to release the alien files, they have specific dates that you can choose from,
Oh, I love
and
this.
go win
When
some
do they make
money
the call? When does the
or
call get
don't.
made to see when
I
we?
don't. I think it's like if you pick by this date, and then it happens by that date, you get paid out. But if it doesn't, then you lose your
Yeah,
bet,
but
and then
what
you
if
just
like the date is like 10 years from now? I have to wait 10 years to see that money if I win?
yeah, yeah. So
That's
don't
fucking
pick that one.
stupid.
Yeah, I don't think that they have that as a choice. So
But still. Well,
yeah,
then someone knows something we don't, like the Simpsons creators, to
correct.
be able
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
putting these
Absolutely. Yeah,
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
putting these dates out there. It's like two truths and a lie. Ha, we know the actual date, but we're going to sprinkle in these other ones, and it's all within the next 5 years. Good luck. Make some
Yeah,
money.
yeah. There we go.
Hmm. Hmm. Also,
Hmm.
should we be watching more Simpsons? I stopped watching Simpsons years ago because it just got boring to me, but now and
Now, should we be watching it to find out what's
it's
happening?
just like, yeah, like what's happening in the next 10 years? Just
Okay,
saying.
so here are. I wanted to go into what's living in the oceans, but this is only a two-parter. So
Octopus.
here are the
Don't eat
question.
them.
Here are the questions. What?
I said, octopus, don't eat them. They're our
Oh yeah, no, not
superiors.
yes, absolutely. Don't eat the octopus. Um, so these are the questions that we still have after all of that, right? After all of that, are they coming from space? Do they already live here? Are there ancient civilizations that live underwater? Have the aliens taken up residency underwater? Are there hybrids that live among us? So, and the thing is we have a really limited amount of information about what's living in our oceans. Like we can't get
Hmm.
down far enough, right? Um, we've explored more in space than
Hmm.
we know what's happening on the seafloor. And even what's that one? The big, the is it Superior, Lake Superior? That's the real
Hmm.
super deep one.
I think so.
Yeah, that they can't get all the way to the bottom of that guy either.
And didn't they say in the documentary something about like they've been able to explore like all this shit on Mars to like this incredible degree, but they
Right,
still
but
can't.
not
They
here. They can't
85% of the world's oceans have not been able to be explored.
explore it. Right. Well,
That's
because I
fucking
guess, well, because
crazy.
we don't have the technology to put something down into the water that won't get crushed from the pressure.
Well, why don't we talk to the aliens that we're not in cahoots with and see if they got something for us?
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
Um, yeah. So
Sorry.
I did have the Guadalcanal giants, which also tied into Bigfoot. That's aliens living underwater. We can do
Loch
that.
Ness Monster, Nessie.
Yeah. What do we got? Oh, okay. So here's my quote from Arthur C. Clarke. Either we are completely alone in the universe or we are not. Both are equally terrifying.
Oh, I like that.
You like that?
I do. I love that. Actually,
Okay.
a lot.
So we have this is what you've been waiting for. Are you excited?
Mm-hmm.
Is Bigfoot an alien?
Yes.
Okay. So
From
there's
research that I
never,
have done, yes.
yes. Okay. So there's never been any remains of a Bigfoot found,
Mhm.
which I mean, I guess you could be like, it's because they don't exist. No, that's not it. Um,
Shut up, Dick. Not
right.
you, though.
No one's ever shot one. No car has ever hit one, which is really
Harry and the
ever
Hendersons,
or
hello.
swerved out of the way, right? Um, there's like no graves or dead ones in the wild. There's no bones anywhere. There's no nothing. So either A doesn't exist, or B um, they've been transported out. And but there are like reports of footprints that just stop, like just they're just going along and then they just stop. So it's like the God footprints thing where now there's just one set
Yeah.
transported right out of there. Um, So October 25th, 1973, in Uniontown, Pennsylvania, and there were witnesses, not one random hillbilly, witnesses. A group of people saw a UFO land, and then they were kind of, like, hey, what's going on over there? And like expected it to be like, the little green men or a grays or, like whatever come out the thing. And they said, um, two hairy ape-like creatures got out or appeared right next to the ship. And then as they approached it, the spaceship shot off, and they don't know if those two creatures went into the woods or if they then kind of
We're on that ship.
disappeared as well. Um, and then there's also the Chewbacca theory, which is that it's actually a suit for the Greys to be safer for them to kind of hang out on our planet and our terrain and stuff like that because they're very small and kind of
Yeah.
sinewy, like breakable. Yeah. Um, so if they have to go to like a different terrain and they're like, oh well, there's like was it the Yeti if it's
Hmm.
cold and like the Bigfoot if so it's like very similar but different creatures and it's just a suit. It's
Like North
almost like
Face just made them outfits.
right. Like just zip that shit up. But they equated it to like if somebody saw like the Mars rover cruising around, taking
Yeah.
pictures and taking information. That's not us, but it's us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'd be like, oh, is that what a human is? It's this like spidery thing with the wheels
Yeah.
if you didn't
Yeah, that makes
know. So
sense.
they're like,
So,
right. So, and
oh,
they're like, or
sorry.
it could be a drone situation where there isn't really anything in there. It's just, it's kind of robotic. It's like a furry robotic thing and it's just gathering information. And it only has like,
So
a, what?
I would say from some of the theories that I've heard is they were slaves of the Anunnaki here to like mine for gold, because that's what helps like the vibration frequency, something or other, the energy of their transportation, their ships, their UAPs. And they were put down here to like mine and like they were like a subspecies. And then Anunnaki started breeding with them. And they also, if I'm remembering this correctly, because this was only a couple months ago that I like dived into this rabbit hole, dove down in, they it wasn't like they were like, oh, we're in love. It was just like almost like a hybrid so that we could then stay back. So we could, because there was like, we're a mutation that can breathe and live on this planet, which meant more mining and more slaves. And then something, I don't remember, but it was like
Something happened and
crazy.
that didn't work out. We didn't
But
slave it
like,
up
but
for
it's like,
them.
so we're here as part, well, no, like our consciousness is what we're creating, right? So then it dives into that part of it where it's like
Right.
the matrixy, we're creating
Right.
our
Are we
own,
actually just living in a tube?
but yeah, and it's
Right.
like a whole fucking thing. But and so go down that rabbit hole because that's really fucking cool. Because that was actually the first time I ever heard anything. Like I've loved Bigfoot for so long, and that was the first time. Like I've heard that theory, like, are they aliens, right? But, and I'd never heard that they were like slaves of the Anunnaki. And then we, humans, are a mixture, a hybrid of the like Homo sapien and the Anunnaki breeding or something. And maybe I'm getting that wrong. I don't know. But Bigfoot was in there
I mean,
breeding.
you can start your own conspiracy theory. Here, I'll put the hat on.
Yeah, but it was really cool to like, I don't know, go down that. It was like
Yeah.
go down that whole rabbit hole to like be like, oh fuck, okay, got it. But like also explains like a lot about, for me anyway, it would explain a lot about if they were aliens, how they just disappear all the time, or they're never really seen. Like
Well, there's
it's
also the Bigfoot is an interdimensional being
I would say, but like we
theory.
also see, you know how like in the fourth kind they talked about aliens looking like white barn owls and shit, or like other people talk. It's like, is that how some of us are perceiving them as this
Right.
big thing? But maybe the person next to you, they see a white owl or a fucking cat, or it's like, is that how your frequency is? Like I'm hitting myself in my third eye, but it's like when I look at whatever being they are, whether it's a gray projecting or something, is that what's being projected to me? But what is it being projected to you as? Or you know what I mean? I don't know. That's why I love these things. They could be anything. They could be you.
Be
You could
anything.
be, I could be
It's
a
me.
Bigfoot. It me.
You
I'm
are a
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
I am. Like, oh, look at these arms. They're
That's me.
freakishly
I'm
long.
Bigfoot. But yeah, so the last point on here is that like it could
Sorry.
also be no, it's fine. It could be a drone situation where they're just like and I'm like, I can't imagine that with all of this technology that they have, that they're going to send
Yeah,
down a drone
a big
that
hairy
looks
ass
like a
drone.
really bad Muppet that doesn't really move very well. And it just, so I'm going to on that one. Absolutely not. Like I'll take
Debunked.
maybe it's a suit, but I'm like, I don't, I
I
think
like the suit.
with all this technology that you have, you're going to send down a drone that's almost finished
For
that can kind of
Halloween,
walk walk around. So
listen, for Halloween, I'm going to be a gray, and then I'm going to put on a big
wearing
suit,
a Bigfoot
and
costume.
I'm going to have the Bigfoot head come down when I need to, like as a hood, you know? I'm going to pull it down when I need to breathe. But that's what I'm going to be for Halloween. That's going to be incredible.
There you go. Well, you can do it there because it's cold there.
It is.
You need the warm clothes for Halloween. Okay. So our last little bit on this is we're gonna full circle it back around. What each sign
Mm-hmm.
would do if they were to come in contact with a UAP or an alien. So Aries, fearless, first contact. He rushes in, you make first contact without a second thought, bold and direct, greeting the aliens with confidence and excitement, enthusiastic, courageous, and unafraid.
It's like that bitch from Independence Day, the
Amaryllis with
stripper.
the sign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that both our arms are the exact same way.
yeah.
Exactly.
Taurus, the
Oh God.
cautious observer.
Hmm.
You're going to take more of a cautious approach. You're going to observe the aliens from a safe distance before you decide on any action. Practical and patient. You're going to make sure that the encounter is safe and stable before engaging.
The
Careful,
Hanged
observant,
Man.
and grounded. What?
That's the Hanged Man tarot card.
Yeah. Gemini, the inquisitive communicator. Little icons that they've chosen for these are hysterical. Gemini's curiosity kicks into high gear as they try to communicate with the aliens. They ask a barrage of questions, eager to learn, so they're irritating, is what you're saying.
I was just gonna say, so you want to punch him in the face.
They're eager to learn about the extraterrestrial language, culture, and technology all at once. Approach inquisitive, communicative, and adaptable. Cancer, the protective host. Cancer's nurturing instincts come alive as they approach the aliens with care and hospitality. They might invite them into their home, offering comfort and ensuring everyone feels safe and welcome. Approach nurturing, protective, and compassionate. Cancer's going to get robbed, is
Uh-huh.
all I'm saying. Uh,
Yeah.
Leo is the charismatic ambassador. Welcome the aliens. Welcome the aliens in. They see this as an opportunity to shine and show off their skills, hoping to leave a last impression. Fucking Leo. All right, Virgo. Virgo approaches the encounter with a scientific mindset, analyzing every detail. They document the aliens' appearance, behavior, and technology methodically, eager to understand and learn. Analytical, detailed, and methodical. I'm like, don't
No.
trust you. Yeah. Libra, the diplomatic mediator. Libra steps in as the diplomatic mediator, seeking to establish harmony and mutual understanding. They focus on creating peaceful and balanced interactions, ensuring both parties respect each other.
You're like, I don't like
No, I'm reading all of these and I'm like going, yeah, in a perfect world. I'm like, Gemini's irritating though.
that. Tell me about it.
Scorpio,
I'm married to one.
the intense
Just kidding.
investigator. Scorpio's intense curiosity drives them to investigate the aliens deeply, probing into their intentions, seeking to uncover hidden truths, and ensuring there are no threats involved.
But what
Okay,
if there are threats
what
involved?
if there are?
Like, but what if we
What
both,
are you
but
going
what
to
if
do
there are
about it?
threats? What are you gonna fucking
Sagittarius.
do about it?
Sagittarius is thrilled by the encounter, seeing it as the ultimate adventure, eagerly engaging with the aliens, ready to explore new horizons and share philosophical insights. Of course, you are. Approach enthusiastic, adventurous, and open minded.
Like, who,
The
like,
assumption from all of these signs is that the aliens are going to be like,
that's
hey,
literally what I was
friend.
just gonna say. Like, what sign? It's gonna be Pisces, just watch. But what sign is like, fuck this shit and like goes nuts and like just
Pew
takes them all out?
pew. Right. Yeah. No, nobody. Everybody's just assuming they're
It's gonna be
nice.
Pisces, the one that we always forget about.
They're on here.
They're
Capricorn.
on here. They're
Capricorn.
here.
They're on here. Capricorn takes a strategic and pragmatic approach to the encounter. They consider the long term implications and plan carefully, ensuring any interaction is beneficial and sustainable. I mean, that's kind
Closer.
of approach strategic, pragmatic, and cautious. All right. Aquarius. Aquarius is fascinated by the encounter, seeing it as a chance to innovate and exchange ideas. You're going to get killed. They eagerly discuss technology, science, and the future, aiming to learn and collaborate on groundbreaking projects. Innovative, visionary, and forward thinking.
And
Yeah,
dead.
the assumption here is that they're like, we come in peace, not that they're bringing us, that it's a cookbook.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Pisces. Pisces approach the aliens with a sense of wonder and mysticism. They're open to spiritual connections and deep conversation, fascinated by the possibility of new dimensions and realities. So
Mm-mm.
we're just fucked.
Everyone's too nice. I'm just kidding.
Right. You're gonna show, I mean, that's fine, I guess. Be nice. We're not telling you to not be nice. Be
Yeah.
nice until it's time to not be nice.
Be nice to the
But
aliens. I love that the whole time you're like, you kept like when we were going through like the research, you're like, but the threat, but it could be a threat. And then like this
it
is
could be a threat.
I don't, and then this is
You
all
don't
like,
know.
well, because you don't know what you
That's
don't
right.
know until you know it.
Right. So, all right,
So
that's our alien episode, you guys. That was fun.
episode Yeah.
episodes. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was super fun. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled program.
Mhm.
No foil hats. Um, next week.
Yeah. And
Jen's on vacation.
I would
Jen's
say
on
I'm on vacation.
vacation.
That's why we did this because I'm like,
Yeah, Jen's
we
on
got to do
vacation.
something fun because I'm going to an Airstream Catskills situation, which I'm
Oh,
very
that's fun.
excited. Glamping.
That's very
We're
exciting.
going glamping and we're taking Aura with us. So it'll be her first glamping trip with us, which I'm very excited about.
Is it just you guys, or are the kids going?
No, just us. Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. We're really, it was for Brian's birthday. So
That's very nice.
yeah, he likes to be out in nature. We like to touch grass. So
Yeah.
yeah, but
All
I
right.
also like to go touch grass, but then like have a bougie place to sleep.
Oh,
So
yeah. I'm not trying to sleep outside. I want to sleep on the ground. I
we
want to touch
did,
grass, and then I want to go someplace indoors.
yeah, we did last year for both because our birthdays are like about a month apart from each other. I'm May 9th and he's June 1st. And so we did glamping at this place in Ithaca, New York called Firelight Camp. And so it's just like the big safari tents and so we got like an electric one, but they had these cute little porches and rocking chairs. And so we got one that had like electricity in it so you can charge your shit and have like a light and like a fan. But it was like we happened to go the one fucking weekend where it was 98 was like the coolest day there. We
Yeah, I
were
was going to say it's probably
fucking
humid and hot.
dying. We
Yeah.
literally were just sitting in those cute little rocking chairs like this and just drenched in sweat. But it was fun. We had like the best time. And like we got up really early to go hiking. So that way it was like, 89.
Yeah, no.
And
No.
there's like Buttermilk Falls. So you can go swimming in this like beautiful like swimming hole. And, like it was cool. But this year I was like, you know what?
Let's go later.
Let's get something with air conditioning, but it's still cute and it's still camping. Because like the fuck. So I found this really cool. Like they've got a bunch of different types of things you can stay in, but the Airstream was the thing that I chose because I was like, oh, that's so cute. And it's great.
Yeah,
It's an Airstream. It's adorable.
love it.
So
I love it. All right. Well, have the very
yeah.
best time. And thanks for joining us and following us along on the ride. If you guys have any questions, um, do watch that documentary. If you want to
Hmm.
know where some of this other bullshit came from, go ahead and send us a DM. Also follow us on all of our socials. Leave us reviews. 5-star would be great. Comment would be even more great because that bumps us up in the algorithm. And what did we say? That the algorithm is stronger than the universe. So we need a little help. Jenn, where can they find you?
Ooh, nickelcitymossandmoon.com and you can book one-on-one virtual reads. My class has started already, which has been super fun. But you can pop in if you want because there is a pay per class option if you want to learn a little bit about tarot. But yeah, what about you?
I am at 125curiosity.com. That's my website. I'm also over on the Whatnot Sling and Band Tees on Wednesday nights and Saturday morning to mid afternoon. That's a long show. So that's fun. So come on by and watch me wave shirts around in the air and stuff like that. Or go to the website where there is really cool stuff.
Hmm.
And we're going to have a section very soon for stuff from us. So that'll be fun.
Hooray!
So, all
Hmm.
right. So we'll see you guys next week. Okay, bye.
Bye.